Peace and Black Power, family. What it is? Brother Google, now you see R&M. Tune in again. You already know. You watch R&M or BG TV. That raw and uncut talk. Science, common sense that the family need to build, need to have. You figure dummy? Like I always do. Shout out to everybody. Peace and love. Oh, you already know, family. Black love is the cure for the black nation. So let's get it. Today, right? Today gonna be a real interesting one. We're gonna talk about something that's once again very, very, very important. I'm actually gonna have a brother call in. I'm gonna call in to a brother that you all know, that I know, we all know. Goes by the name of brother Amin out there in Texas. Shout out to you, brother. So and we're gonna talk about something that of course concerns us all as black folk, but mainly when we talking about like nationhood, nation building, this right here, what we're going to talk about, African-centered education. That's our topic for today, African-centered education. This is something that will literally sustain your people. That will sustain your race, sustain your legacy, sustain your identity. You feel me? So everybody, we love to, talk about what we need to do and we need solutions, but you already know folks is afraid of a solution. But nonetheless, this right here, this key component, what this is instituted correctly and implemented correctly, in my personal opinion, you can't go wrong. So we're gonna talk about that in a minute. Like I said, just bear with me for a moment. I'm gonna get the brother on the phone in a hot second. Like I said, but today's breakdown is gonna be on African-centered education. Like I said, very important for the babies, the adults too, elders, all of us. We all need this. So y'all just stick with me, you know what I'm saying? Bear with me, and it's about to go down. So like I said, this is R&M RBG TV. You already know, raw and uncut. So we gonna get this work. Gonna get the brother on the horn. All right.
Hello.
Big brother, Amin.
Black Power.
Black Power, brother. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, brother.
All right, man. I'm glad to hear that. Just like you already said, we talked it up early before. I got the camera rolling as we speak, and we about to get this work.
Yes,
so you know what I mean? So without further delay,
all right, I'm with it.
We talked,
yeah.
The topic is African-centered education. So I want to first off by allowing you to introduce yourself to everybody that's out there watching, and I'm gonna give you that floor before I start asking questions. So introduce yourself to the world.
All right. Well, my name's Amin Imamu Ojuwoke. I'm the founder of the BOOGIE'S Academy. We are an independent African-centered school located in Fort Worth, Texas. We've been an independent school since 2010, and we teach everything from pre-K on up to 12th grade at the BOOGIE'S Academy. We currently have around 40 students, and man, I'm living out my dream.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up. All right, like I said, no delay. Let's get into it. Question number one. The first question is going to be why African-centered African education? Basically, what is the purpose behind it and the effects on the population, both socially and culturally?
All right. Well, as far as African-centered education is concerned, as African people, and then we are an African people.
That's right.
People of African descent, or whatever you could. Some people say I keep it on in. Some people might say more, or whatever you call it. You're in the group, okay?
That's right.
Any people should look at the world through their eyes and through the eyes of their ancestors, because this connects us to the past and helps us to get prepared, helps us understand the present, and get us prepared for the future. African-centered education does that for the African child. Whereas the public school system is taught from a European white male perspective, you may pick up some skills in the public school system, but you're not, as an African, being truly connected to the past, to your role in human development, in the development of civilization. So if you're not connected correctly to your past, then you don't properly have a healthy perspective of the present, and you're not prepared to build a better future for us. So that's what African-centered education is all about. We're not the first or the only African-centered institution in America. There was a huge African-centered school movement in the 70s and the 80s. But then, man, when they counterattacked on our community with crack cocaine and the rise of the gang thing and that sort of thing, you saw that movement kind of wane. The jailing of a lot of our activists and political prisoners who were supporting the movement, and so you kind of saw that momentum wane a little bit.
Right.
But today you have several African-centered institutions out there, but there still needs to be a momentum push, you know, because you can imagine that a crisis when it comes to black people in education in the public school system. You know, far way more than half of our students don't even graduate the public school system, and most who do graduate are still unprepared or ill-prepared to move forward in the future.
Right.
So there's a need more than ever for African-centered institutions.
That's real. That's real. Cause like on my personal opinion, cause like I said, I've seen y'all work. I've seen how y'all get it in. I'll big that up all day. You already know you got my support.
Yes, sir.
But like I said, my personal opinion is it's like when you look at other ethnicities, other races of folk or whatever, right? They automatically, no matter what school they go to, especially here in America, right? They can go to an all-white school or all-black school. It doesn't matter. If that Asian child is within that school, regardless of what he's learning in U.S. history class, he can still decipher that between U.S. history and his ancient Asian or Chinese or whatever, you know what I'm saying, that he goes back to. He still knows his story. He can trace his lineage all the way back to like his 35th grandfather. Whereas us, on the other hand, we go as far as with like South Carolina or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, so
absolutely.
Like, and not for nothing, when I personally, I've seen it where the difference between those who know who they are and those who don't know they are, they carry themselves totally different in society. You know what I mean? Like, they carry themselves. Those who know who they are, they're not easily gullible. They're not easily liable to the different traps and the ills of society. Whereas there's somebody who don't know, it's just like they hop along Joe trying to get in where they fit in. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Well, you know, we're trained in this society to grow up and serve.
Right.
We're trained in this society to grow up and work for other people, to enrich other communities. And even those who don't enter the workforce to help other communities, you become consumers of other communities inside your community, i.e. the Arab store on the corner or the Asian hair supply place, you know, or the shop or the Middle Eastern motel. You know what I'm saying? That these groups who have monopolies on businesses inside the black community. So even as a black person who may not have upward mobility or even enter the workforce, when you swipe that EBT card, it's going to be to an Asian or Asian-owned store or an Arab-owned store. When you go get that beer in the morning, you're a consumer, you know, for other groups. You know what I'm saying? So this society trains us to enrich others. We are we the pig that everybody's eating off of. You know, we're the blood that everybody's sucking. All the vampires are sucking. We're food. You know what I'm saying? And we're trained to be food by the public school system, by this society. Asian people, on the other hand, or Arabs, on the other hand, when they go home, they Asian. You know, they might be in school speaking English and that, but when they go home, they may only have one generation to speak English, and they treat America like they're visitors, like they're immigrants. You know what I'm saying? They're not treating America like they're pure-blooded Americans, because there's no such thing as that.
True.
You know, and it's funny that those who come over voluntarily maintain a disconnect on purpose, saying, no, my real allegiance is to my country at home, or to my people, or to the culture, the community we're building here. But those of us who were forced immigrants, who were forced over here, you know, we want to reject we're being educated to reject where we came from and to totally assimilate into the society of those who kidnapped us and brought us in the first place.
I know that's right.
And that's the unique thing about the African experience here in America. It's what we call the new African, which is us, those of us born here, descendants of those brought over here. We consider ourselves new Africans because I may not be able to trace exactly where I come from the continent but that makes me a better Pan-African because I can claim kinship to everyone and not hindered by a sense of tribalism or divisiveness that may have already been there between my tribe, my nation state, your nation state.
Right.
I'm a true Pan-African in that when I see Africans in the diaspora, I feel a connection to them.
Right.
Irregardless of if I know exactly what part, because over 100 distinct ethnic groups were kidnapped from Africa during slavery.
Mm-hmm.
So you may be you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you may trace your DNA back to Senegal, but that doesn't mean that's the only thing in your DNA.
Right. Because that's enough when we was all mixed up when we was on them ships anyway.
Absolutely. So we new Africans, man. We're a new breed.
Right.
But we're so if you look at the whole adage of survival of the fittest or the strong survive,
right,
we're descendants of the strong.
That's real.
We're the descendants of those who managed to survive.
You hit something while you was going back a couple minutes. You hit something, and it's funny because the way you said it, it flowed right into my next question. You didn't even realize it. You was talking about the school systems.
Yes.
Right? Now, dealing with the public
Yes, sir.
school system and how you was correlating that with the whole economic game or whatever. Within the public school system, we're pretty much trained, as you said a minute ago, to basically run somebody else's empire. And then, not for nothing, we also have our parental teachings at home. These teaching us the same thing. Go to school, get a good job. Go to college so you can get that job, and this, that, and the third. We're not taught, and we were never training each other from the first time from our first baby that was born in America. We stopped training for real, how to establish ourselves. Now, we don't get it twisted. We had a good push, a good restart with the with Black Wall Street and the Black Reconstruction period and all that stuff. So we had a good start. But you already know how that happened. You know what I'm saying? The feds bombed that shit. And after that point, it was really dead. From that point on, it was really a dead issue. We really stopped failing to get back in tune with one another as far as who we are as Africans. And then once I guess you could say the upstart of the civil rights era or whatever, with the different pseudo ideologies and everything, that became religious identities instead of cultural identities. So we will teach each other we're Hebrews, we'll teach each other we're Muslims, we'll teach each other we're, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff, we're Christians, this, that, and that, but we won't teach each other about our African identity because we cease to do that. So with the school system, they're gonna take they're gonna take full advantage of that shit. Okay, they're not doing it at home, so I'm gonna continue to feed you my food, and you're gonna live off my food, and therefore the brain that you have in your head is my brain. You feel what I'm saying? So like touch on that real quick. What you think on that? Yeah,
well, there's so many factors that have gone into our attitudes towards being Africans, towards Africa. And again, I use Africa for familiarity purposes. I know that the mother continent has had many names. You know what I'm saying? And we get it is funny how we get into these frivolous debates today still in 2015 about who we are and what we should call ourselves. And it prevents us from getting together and actually coming together and fighting the evils that are affecting our community. I can't stand next to you because you call yourself a Pan-African and I'm an evil Israelite. But the police see both of us and gonna shoot both of us in the ass and call us both niggas. You know what I'm saying? And we can't, when we're having such an issue just looking past that, one of the things I love about the Uhuru Academy is that we have African children from every ilk in our school. We got Black Christians in our school, Muslims in our school, straight up RBG, Pan-Africanist children in our school, Moorish children in our school, and we encourage them to be proud of that. We let them know that those are all branches from the same tree. You know what I'm saying? And they own up to that. So they won't have the confusion and the hang-ups that we have, wanting to debate when it's time to get out here and reclaim our youth. It's time to get out here and reclaim our communities. Now, as to us being raised to leave our communities, it's a double psychosis. Like when I'm looking at the situation with Mike Brown this year, Trayvon Martin, Eric Gardner, seeing Black Lives Matter and that sort of thing. And I'm looking and I'm asking myself, is this a defense? Are these people are we defending the Black community? Like, do we even want a Black community anymore? Like, if you raise a whole generation to get out of high school, go to college, get a job, and get out the hood. Well, if everyone successful gets out the hood, how can you save the hood?
Good point. Good point. Good point. Good point. Because that's exactly what folks do. They get that check, they get that degree, and they out.
If our best and brightest move away from the community,
right,
when they get the $100,000 job, well, they're not circulating their dollar inside the community. There goes your sponsor for the Little League right there.
Yep.
There goes your venture capitalist who would help a entrepreneurial, like yourself, get your store started, get your business started. That black doctor, that black lawyer that would be in the community giving you that seed money, they don't live in the black community anymore. Because we've been raised to believe that a symbol of success is getting out of the black community instead of entrenching ourselves in, rebuilding it. If Jay-Z never left the black community, they could hire their own security force to help keep it safe.
Right.
For themselves.
Mm-hmm.
We could build inside of our community, but we've been taught that once you achieve a measure of success, you can go live with white people. And we were taught that a part of our freedom is being able to live by white people.
Yep.
So we even treat each other like heroes when we leave the community. Man, you got out, man. Congratulations, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got out. You made it away. Mm-hmm. So now we got to ask ourselves, do we even want a black community?
That's a good question. That's a real good question. And folks ain't going to want to answer that question. Right.
Are we educating our children to maintain one?
That's a big gut check. You do know that, right? You probably going to scare a lot of folks off with that one. That's a gut check.
And we just got to, do we even want one?
That's a good,
I know a lot of
I dig it. You know me, I dig it, yes.
A lot of people say they're pro-black, they won't move into a black community. They won't. I'm not saying can't. They won't. Those who just can't, I ain't talking to you. Don't start feeling guilty.
Right.
Don't get offended. I ain't talking to you. I'm talking about those who have said, I love my people, but it's just too much going on in the hood. I ain't back.
Right. Scared of your own people type. Got you. Got you.
But we got to deal with that. We got to have those conversations. Is that a legitimate fear? Or have you been disconnected from the community so long that you don't realize that it's never as dangerous as people say it is?
Mm-hmm.
And the community I live in right now is called Stop 6 right here in Fort Worth. Mm-hmm. It's considered one of the poorest black communities in Fort Worth. However, a report came out last year that in my community where I live, $500 million was circulated last year. $500 million went through this community last year. We have one corner store in my neighborhood owned by an Asian man. Mm-hmm. He made over $1 million last year.
But like I said, we know what they always say, black folks ain't got no money though. But that's a proof right there that we do. We just circulate it in the wrong direction.
Exactly. We have money. We just spend our money. We're not poor. We spend our money poor.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we don't. And we're not raising the shopkeepers. We're not raising the cleaners, the person who's gonna have the cleaners. Mm-hmm. We're not raising the person who's gonna own the donut shop. It's a donut shop in my neighborhood. He sells donuts in the morning, Chinese food and hamburgers for the rest of the day. Korean man. Mm-hmm. He made over $500,000 last year. He's been on vacation now. His store is closed. He's been on vacation for 3 weeks. He done went home.
Sure.
He said he done went back to Korea for a little while. He'll be back in the middle of January with our money.
And gonna rack up again.
Then it's gonna rack up again. Now he ain't racking up because he has a superior product. He ain't racking up because we just love Koreans. He's making that money because guess what? Most people in his neighborhood ain't got transportation to go nowhere else.
Right.
He's located on the street that all the kids have to pass in order to go to school.
So in other words, he knew
even
what he
if
was
somebody
doing.
black was in there,
Mm-hmm.
they'd still be successful because of the location.
Yep. He planned it out good. He mapped it out good. What can you say?
Yeah.
What can you say?
So even with the corner store, there's not a market within 10 miles of this neighborhood. The only major market. So most people ain't gonna drive or walk to the major market. They're gonna go to the corner store.
Right.
We should own those stores. But you're not gonna get black people to want to own those stores if you don't teach your children that there's dignity in it. But now I got proof that not only is there dignity in it, it's money in it. You want to be a millionaire, open a corner store in the black neighborhood.
That's real. You can get that bread overnight, almost.
Almost. We should own those stores. But you got our clergy, our preachers, who have sold us out as well on a lot of levels, and not every pastor, but a lot of pastors, because you bought into the agenda to abandon the community. When you look around, if you look at the old churches in your neighborhood, the people who still go, that are in their tithing and putting their money in there, they don't live in a black neighborhood. They just come on Sundays to go to the church.
Right.
And then they leave. And the pastor at the church don't live in the neighborhood.
Speak on that, boy. I know that for a fact, man. They leave, they come in on Sunday with the Beamers and the Maseratis and the congregation taking the bus.
Yeah, but 30 years ago, 40 years ago, the pastor at that church did live in the black community.
Right. He was amongst the people. Right.
Along with most of the congregation. But it's not like that now. And that creates a disconnect. That creates a disconnect from the masses of the people in the community and that group of people who have some disposable income to reinvest. We're disconnected from one another. And you can't circulate a dollar with that type of disconnect.
Right. That's right.
And these people are 100% consumers where they are. They're moving out to the suburbs. They have no reinvestment in the suburbs. They just out there spending money. So at the Uhuru Academy, we teach a different model. We teach a circulation model. We teach our children, we're teaching our children to invest in and live in a black community.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And to learn how to set up businesses that feed each other. Dr. Clark Anderson calls it vertical integration.
I know that model. That's a good model. That's a great model. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So that's what our junior high and high school students are studying right now.
That's what's up.
And so when we say African-centered education, we're not just talking about learning our history, which is a major component in it, but we're also talking about how we treat each other, how you invest in your culture, that your culture is your wealth. And if we own our culture, we will be some of the wealthiest people in the world. And I'm talking about new Africans in America, because name a society that's not influenced by black America. If we owned it, which is our birthright, our children's birthright to own our own culture, things would be decidedly different right now. Boy. However, we're brought up to abandon our culture.
Yeah.
We're brought up being taught toxic shame for who we are. Crackers make us ashamed of what we're doing. Then they take what we're doing, package it, and sell it to the rest of the world.
And make a killing off of it.
You know, and make a killing.
Like, that's the greatest,
we don't just talk in terms of cash.
Yep.
Yeah. We're not just talking about cash, we're talking about land, resources, global relationships. I ain't just talking about the dollar's going to collapse. I'm talking about real wealth.
Yeah. The greatest dope deal
natural
ever.
Resources. Yeah.
The greatest dope deal ever.
The African-centered model has to deal with all of those things and begin to turn our children's focus towards those things.
That's what's up, bro. Like I'm just listening to this conversation right now as we have this dialogue, bro. Like, it gives me hope because it lets me know we still got life within our people. You already know folks is on some 90% of us have pretty much already given up. The generations, I want to say from my generation and back, a lot of folks have given up. You know what I mean? And I'm coming from the crack era, 87. So a lot of folks have already given up. So with that being said, the little ones that we have left, the little cells that we got left, this is the time where, like you said, reinstitute that education, reinstitute that circulation amongst the hood and build up the hood. We need to do that because once the next set of generations come up, they can take it from there and rise it to a whole another plateau. You feel what I'm saying?
That's right. Yeah. That's right. At the Uhuru Academy, man, we raising global citizens. That's what's up. You know, we even teach our students that the paradise, so to speak, or the community or the nation might not be located in the Western Hemisphere.
Right.
Don't get married to the United States.
Right.
Don't get married. Global citizenship, and we have to look at that, an exit strategy as well. I know I be online, I see a lot of brothers talking about get your gun, get this, and be ready, and that's cool, but you need an exit strategy too. When you don't have a military, you need an exit strategy as well. We need global friendships as well. A lot of the Panthers were able to get asylum in other countries because they understood that they needed diplomatic support elsewhere.
Yep.
So when the heat came, they got out of here. Mama Asada Shakur is still in Cuba, and Cuba's still not willing to give her up.
That's right. That's right.
That's because of a friendship that was cultivated between the black community and people outside of the United States. Malcolm, when he went to Africa, and he named his Organization Afro-American Unity after the Organization of African Unity that he helped establish on the continent. Global friendships. You still have nations on the continent that honor Malcolm. Global friendships, and we have to look at that. We have to revisit that. Because for every 50 cows you got, he got.
Yeah.
And we have to lay a foundation for our children to carry on this resurrection of a people, because that's what's going on. This resurrection that our spiritual folks talk about. That's us.
Right here in the flesh.
That's us. And it's going to happen regardless. They can't kill us.
There's too many of them. It's too many of us.
I'm a firm believer that they can't kill us because I don't think they figured out how to survive without our melanin.
Nah.
I don't think they figured out how to survive without us. To be perfectly honest.
I mean, they use our melanin to even put on the rocket ship to go out into outer space. They're not getting rid of us no time soon. You know what I'm saying? Granted, they're trying. Yeah. They're trying, but it's not going to exterminate us. It's not. We're too strong.
Carbonated people are tied to the ecosystem.
That's right.
You got to have carbonated people on Earth.
That's right.
You got to have melanated people on Earth.
That's right. This world will crumble without us. This world will crumble without us.
Yeah.
That's real.
We just need to begin. We don't all have to agree on everything, but we do have to agree that we deserve to live. We do have to agree that we should see ourselves in divinity. Like we do need to, wherever you call the divinity, you need to see yourself in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to agree that defending our right to be honest is a righteous cause. And that's what African-centered education does. We're not raising children to grow up in compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise our integrity, compromise our survival. We're raising children to grow up and thrive, carry the mantle and thrive with it.
That's right.
So those are some of the ideas we put forth down here at the Uhuru Academy. And of course, that's based on studying the greats like Dr. Clark and Dr. Amin and Dr. Shaka Musa Barashango, brothers like Naeem Akbar, with Dr. Richard Wright. Man, we've been, as a people, we've been blessed with so many dynamic and powerful scholars, that ain't supposed to exist. Wasn't supposed to be no J.A. Rogers.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like everything was set up institutionally and everything to prevent a J.A. Rogers from happening, but it happened.
It happened. I'm gonna ask you one last question, and I'm gonna let you wrap.
Sure.
I know it's Saturday. I want to let you do your thing and everything. That's cool.
Yes, sir.
The concept of race. I was watching something the other day. Polite was on. He did a video the other day, and I can't front. The way he broke it down, the shit was fly. The concept of race, and he went as far as basically to say that folks get recognized on a racial tip politically in the world based on the fact that that particular group of or entity of people recognize and adhere to fully their former place in servitude or harsh condition living that they were previously in to basically give them their platform of their complaint or their grief. Black folks, on the other hand, we have yet to come out and figure out how exactly how we were hurt, how bad we were hurt, and exactly what our cry is. We're crying nonetheless. We just don't have a distinct cry because we not necessarily identified ourselves as a people with our suffering. That's what I'm saying. Because if once you identify your suffering as a people, then you can basically move forward as on an advancement tip from that point on. So basically, he went to say like the homosexuals that have become a race now. They have identified their issue, they unified on it, and they moved on it. So politically, homosexuals are a race of people. The Jewish folks, whatever, the Judaism was a religion at first. Mm-hmm. It was a religion, but now it's an identity now as far as racially and politically because of the way they have identified their quote unquote Holocaust suffering or whatever. Black folks, we know we was in slavery, but we don't know how it happened, why it happened. We you know what I'm saying? We have yet to agree what the hell the issue really was. So therefore, we ain't getting no freaking recognition. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I honestly think the whole concept that you're bringing out, the African Center Education, that right there will it'll bring closure to that argument, so we can identify on a political standpoint, so the world will finally realize who the hell new African people is, and then they'll begin to listen to us because we've identified ourselves politically.
Ashe. The race issue, and of course race being a pseudoscience, a quasi-science. Right. The racial classification set forth by the European, in the early 1800s or whatever, is just a tool. It's a tool to classify. It's a tool to justify imperialism. It's a tool it's been a tool used to justify the rape and destruction of Africa and African civilization. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like you said today, it's still being used as a tool. If a group gets powerful enough, it becomes an ethnicity. You're right. Homosexuals are seen more like a racial group now. Yeah. And it's funny that particular group wants to marry every black movement. Yeah. Every black movement is getting married to the homosexual agenda. Yep. And it's really out of the issue that black is no longer a valid group. Exactly. Black is no longer politically considered a valid group. You can't come out and speak for black people anymore. There's a black president, so it's over. Yeah. It's over. You can't. If you say, okay, we need to deal with the atrocities being committed against black families. Somebody's gonna say, wait a minute. Nah, we need to deal with black and brown families. Then somebody's gonna say, nah, black, brown, and LBGT families. Well, then somebody's gonna say, nah, all families of color. Because black by itself no longer garners any sympathy. Yep. It no longer garners, you can't build anything off of that in the mainstream. So what we have to do is step outside of these pseudo-classifications. We have to step outside of, and instead of turning out and dealing with others outside of our community, it's time for us to turn in and come inside our community with all of our movements. Whether if you're marching, you need to be marching in the hood. Mm-hmm. If you're speaking, you need to be speaking in the hood. If you're setting up an office, organizing an event, it needs to be done inside the black community so we can ask and answer our own questions. Mm-hmm. And anything outside of our community is a distraction. Yeah. So if we're going to be dealing with police terrorism, nationality, law, whatever we're going to be dealing with, we need to be dealing with it strongly inside our community. We need the soapbox preachers again, like when Malcolm them used to have to stand out on the corner, and there was 10 movements. You walk out, there's 10 movements a day out there. Yep. The Guardians are out there. The Muslims are out there. We need to get back to that and let people decide what their spirit connects to. Mm-hmm. Marcus Garvey had millions of members. Millions. How do you do that without the internet? Without the internet. What was Marcus Garvey offering without the internet? that made millions of black people say, I want to be a part of that. I'm going to send him my hard-earned dollar, my hard-earned 10 cents. I want to be a part of that. I want that identity. But it was how Garvey presented that identity.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, black is beautiful. You have a flag. You have honor. God is black. Everything beautiful is black. And when you look at it, everything you have to be African. Everything.
Yep.
And we began to identify. Millions of us identify with that.
Yep.
We don't have to argue the semantics. You shouldn't call yourself African. No, we need to pull ourselves up out of the European mindset that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And if it has the identity elements inside of it, inside of whatever you're teaching to do that, then let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
The danger is, number one, even today, I see a lot of groups that'll say, don't call yourself black, let's identify with this because this is the law, and we go there with this paperwork and that paperwork. Well, when was the last time Europeans ever honored a treaty?
You know, broke every treaty he signed the very next damn day.
They broke every treaty. Now, that's not to belittle those who are doing that. What all I'm saying is, don't do it and tell us our purpose is to go and get a recognition from the white man.
In that sense, not for nothing. In that sense, you still begging, really and truly, because he has to honor. You have to wait at his mercy for him to honor that damn application. So you still begging.
And you can't call what your enemy writes the law. See, as long as I call what you write out your mind on the book the law, I'm saying there's no other law.
It's supreme, right?
And it's supreme. So we're still in a white supremacy mindset, trying to figure out an identity that'll get us respected by the white man. He's still your standard. And that's a problem. And that's a problem.
That's crazy.
Create, decide who you are, and stand on it.
Stand on it.
Decide who you are and stand on it and say his recognition of it is irrelevant. And it has to be irrelevant because, truth be told, Europeans don't give a damn what you call yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, what you're going to have to do is stand up. And then quit trying not to stand up. And trying to play the part let us skip the part where it gets hard or bloody.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't run away from this, man. Real talk. And you're absolutely right. He's not gonna respect what you call yourself. He's gonna not say that he's gonna respect, but he's gonna pay attention more. So he's gonna look and he's gonna have a little bit more concern with you when you carry yourself the right way. When you carry yourself a certain way. Your actions.
That's what it is. Yeah, and that's where a lot of the groups I see getting it right. You're carrying yourself with dignity, refinement. You're buying land. You're standing on what you believe in.
That's what gets respected. Yeah.
That's great. But the only problem is, when you get there, don't think that you relate more to the white man.
Right. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Right. It ain't over yet because you got to turn over and reciprocate in the hood. You're absolutely right.
Don't fall into that trap where you saying, my people just don't get it, man. This white boy over here, they understand. No, they don't understand. Mm-hmm. They got everything they got from pillage, from murder, from theft. That's how they got their wealth. Right. You're trying to get your wealth with pride, with dignity. So if you get your wealth with pride and dignity, and that white man coming outside and he's been wealthy for 4 or 5 generations, his wealth came from the murder of your people.
Right. So you can't equate to that. Right. You can't equate to that. Why would you want to equate to that?
Yeah. So y'all not the same.
Right.
Y'all not the same. So you get in a situation where you sitting up there trying to pretend to be like him, and he trying to pretend to be like you. Mm-hmm. And y'all think y'all friends. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, you're disconnected from the masses of your people.
Man, oh man. Baba, I mean, oh my gosh, bro. What you saying right now, I really hope the family is listening, man. I really hope folks out there is going to listen to this, man. I'm pretty sure it's going to go over a lot of folks' heads, but it's okay. Just go back, listen to the tape slowly. It's all good, family, because this is very important. This is vital right here. This is vital. This is vital. This is what I say when I say common sense for the common people dealing with common issues, looking for common solutions, family. This is what we need to circulate, family. Pay attention.
I say. I say, we got to look at this thing, man, from a power perspective. And that's another thing that African-centered education is about. It's about power. But power means you have to take responsibility.
Boom!
You know what I'm saying? Like when people say, don't blame the white man. I say, no, blame the white man. Just don't make him responsible for fixing.
Yep.
See, there's a difference. I was talking to a Christian friend of mine. He likes to march and all that. And he was like, oh, I can't get with you, Baba niggas. Y'all try to blame the white man. And I said, well, wait a minute. I'd rather blame them than begging.
Oh. He ain't like that. I already know.
So I'm blaming him. But then when something go down, you got a sign outside the city hall begging him to change.
Right.
So I think there's more dignity in saying it's his fault than it is in saying, NASA, help me.
Pretty much.
So African-centered education is about helping self. It's about saying, yeah, if you caused it, you caused it, but it's my responsibility to fix it. We gonna fix it. And we have to focus on fixing the issue. Like I said earlier, first we got to decide if we still even want a community.
Mm-hmm.
Then once we decide that we do, then we got to gauge everyone's commitment to that community.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's commitment to the black child. Everyone's commitment to the black family. How should that child and that family be educated? How can those families create opportunities for one another? Make sure they secure shelter for one another. Make sure the buildings aren't falling down. The foundations in the houses aren't cracked. How are we going to make sure that everybody eats? So we have to start having those practical conversations. Because, man, if you open up a black business and we all support you, and as soon as you get a nice little piece of change, you're going to go move and take you and your money to another neighborhood.
Then what's the point? Right.
We just played ourselves.
Right. Yep.
We just played ourselves.
Yep.
So, no, we need a cleaner that's going to shop at the store, the black-owned store. The black-owned store that's going to be getting food from the black community garden. Mm-hmm. The black community garden people going to be buying supplies from a black supplier. We need to create business chains like that, mm-hmm. where the money never leaves. It takes time, but that's why we got to start schools so we can raise a generation to get it done.
That's right.
Me and you might be too gone on the Jordans. The people in our generation, we might be too gone.
Mm-hmm.
But we can lay a foundation that our children can build on.
Right.
So that's what it's all about. That's what African-centered education is all about. That's what we believe in at the Uhuru Academy, and we appreciate everybody's support. If it wasn't for support for people outside of our community, the school wouldn't even be open right now. So I want to take this time just to give a special thank you to all the brothers and sisters across the nation that have been sending resources. I'm talking money, books, people, online classes that have been supporting the Uhuru Academy. We couldn't do it without you.
That's what's up. Big respects to y'all. Big respects to y'all. Brother Baba, how can the folks get in contact with you in regarding the academy and this, that, and the third, as far as helping out?
Well, you can visit the website at Uhuru, UHURUacademy.com. And that's where you can show your monetary support, leave a comment as well. But you can also get in touch with us at 682-233-5054. That's 682-233-5054. You can email us at Uhuru, UHURU, the number 4, youth, at gmail.com. So that's Uhuru for you at gmail.com to shoot the email. That email is on the website as well. And we would love to dialogue with anybody who would like to dialogue. You can reach me on Facebook. I'm Amin Imamu Ojuwoke on Facebook, AMIN, Imamu, IMAMU, Ojuwoke, OJUOK, all right, on Facebook. And we would love the dialogue, and that's how you get in touch with us.
That's what's up, brother. That's what's up, man. You already know, man. Y'all keep banging out there, man, real hard, man. Keep getting in that hood. getting them babies' heads, man. Definitely, man. Like I said, I'm proud of y'all, man. Real talk. I'm proud of what y'all do at that school,
brother,
man.
We're proud of you too, brother. And we down. We down the road anytime, man. Anytime you need us, give us a call.
That's love, man. That's love. I thank you for having this dialogue with me, with the people, whatever, because it's for the people, But like I said, thank you for your time, brother. You enjoy your weekend and the whole nine, and be cool, bro.
All right, yeah, my babies. I'm watching the babies today. I get to be at home for a change.
That's what's up.
They went to sleep like right when you called me, so everything's going. The universe is working.
That's
man.
What it
All
is.
good.
That's what it is. I say. That's what it is.
All right, brother.
But yo, stay up, OG. Peace and black power.
I will, brother. Black power.
All right.
Peace.
So there it is, family. African-centered education. Very vital, very important. I hope y'all was listening. I hope y'all was taking notes. Y'all got the contacts for the brother. Reach out to him. Link up. Let's vibe. Let's network. Let's build. Reestablish. Because you know how I always say from back when. Together the ant shall conquer the elephant. That's never changed, family. But, in the meantime, between time, this has been your brother and Google. Now you see RANM. You've been watching another episode of RANM RBG TV. Again, we'll be keeping it raw and uncut. That live talk for the family. You dig? Anyway, like always, just another day around the way. Black love is a cure for the black nation, so let's get it, family. Wake up, wise up, and rise up. Black power.